This conference will now
अरे
be
यार,
recorded.
दो चैट बॉक्स नहीं खोलना है, रुको। दो इधर में तो जैसे एक इधर
यहीं
करो।
से चलाओ ना,
रुको।
रिकॉर्डिंग रोक दो।
This
TTD
conference will now be
electrical
recorded.
power components and system, Taylor and Francis, ITEES, Ville, International Journal of Power Electronics, and other reputed journals. Dr. Gupta is also associated as editor board member of International Transactions on Electrical Energy Systems, Ville. He is serving as a reviewer of several refereed international journals and conferences. His area of interests include power electronics and drives, power quality, renewable energy grid integration, APFs, and multi-level inverters. So now I would request Dr. Nitin sir to start his presentation. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Punitji. First of all, thanks to Professor Surya Prakash Singh, Head Electrical, and then Dr. Puneet, Dr. Sanjay ji, and Mr. Lokesh Kumar Yadav, who are the coordinator, I think, of this FDP. This is a very good FDP and covering approximately whole aspect of the power system, basically controls and the optimization. Maybe different speakers will give on optimizations. My is related to some controls and power quality, basically, because my area is concern is power electronics. So, okay, so congratulations to your team for organizing this type of faculty development program, which will basically gives a idea, basically an idea for doing research further in that particular area. Because students or the researchers or the other faculty members who are at the remote site cannot go everywhere to discuss the problem, but this is the right platform where we all can discuss the related issues, because we have to basically we are here only to discuss the issues. Okay, so thank you Punitji for brief and nice introduction. So basically my presentation topic is related to the power quality problems and the solutions, with some basically when we will discuss about the solution, then we will also discuss some realization using the hardware components in the laboratory of some one of the solution. So basically, as the theme is power system optimization and control, but we cannot say that the power quality is only the problem of the distribution side or the transmission side, and only this problem is due to the power electronics component. No, basically, power electronics is nowadays a field which is immersed, not only the transmission, not only the generation, not only the distribution, starting from the generating point to the transmission point to the distribution, and a single if I will say 9-watt LED. So there also a 9-watt and or less than, also there also we can find various applications of the power electronics. So basically my first point is that I will explain some benefits of that area in which I am working, and definitely if some technique having some advantage, then it also associated some disadvantage with it. So we will see that. So basically power electronics, this is the area where we can say that electronic part is there. Electronic means we have to work at the low voltage level, low current level, and when it is engaged with the power, it means that we will work now, the same circuit will now have to shift it to the power level. Now power level means it may be 230, it may be 400, it may be 11 kV, 6.6 kV, or more than that, 132 kV also. Like the one of the application you can see on the screen is FACS and the HVDC system. It started from the vacuum tube, means it started with a simple rectification from AC to DC, and then their simple diodes and the BJT, bipolar junction transistor, was used in that days. But now by the time when the register comes into the market around 57, and then in the Bell laboratories, and then there are various upgradations and various devices came into the market which basically change the scenario of the power electronics. One can ask this question that why the name is power electronics, why not the power electrical? Basically, there are the two circuits in any power electronic switch. One is the gate circuitry, and another one is the anode to cathode circuitry, or you can say collector to emitter circuitry, which is basically associated with the load. But when we are saying that okay, just to start that switch, so for starting the switch, basically still we have very low voltage requirement, very low current requirement. So it means that that switch which is basically handling a current of let kiloamperes or more than that, or amperes, which is capable to block the voltage of kilovolts, kV, like in the transmission system, like in the HVDC system. It can block the voltage, but for its own operation, it requires very less power. That's why the term basically came into the picture, that is the power electronics. So basically, this power electronics, basically we can say that we are shifting the device voltages and device current level at the power level. And also there are two things. One is the availability, and one is the your requirement. Means availability means we have in the electrical system, it may be it may be your transmission, distribution, or microgrid, or any other remote area also. What is the availability of power? It is AC or it is DC. I think that many of the speakers also discuss on these issues, that the availability of the microgrid, how we can set a microgrid, also what are the challenges of the microgrid. There, there basically, if the availability is suppose DC, and my requirement of the load is like AC, then definitely how I will use that. So definitely I have to need some converters. And suppose like in the case of HVDC, because right now I think that HVDC topic is normally now teach is in I think the third year of the electrical engineering. So basically everybody is familiar now with the term of HVDC. There we have to convert from AC to DC, and means because their availability before the conversion is AC, requirement is DC. At the receiving end, the availability is DC, but the requirement is AC. So basically we need some conversion circuits. We need some conversion circuit which can able to block the voltage of thousands of volts, and which can carry the current of thousands of amperes, or of the order of amperes or more than that. So basically we can say also that in case of suppose we are taking two motors. One motor is directly connected to a simple 230 volt supply or 400 volt supply. For example, the motor in our house or in our society, which is lifting the water from the ground level to the fifth floor, or the top of the society, top of our house. That is a simple motor. Means if there will be no water in the lower tank, then also it will consume the energy. That is the and also means we can also say that that motor output is not governing by its input, and there is no any closed loop is there. If water will be not there, then I have to go there, and then I have to switch off it. So basically, if there will be some closed loop system is type there, and that will regulate that okay, this much of water level is there, and this much of all power should be consumed by the motor. This should be the power consumed by the motor. Like in the case of the lift, like in the case of the electric traction. Basically, in electric traction, we need smooth acceleration, we need smooth deceleration, we need wider range of speed control. There we need, if we want these all type of features, then we can say that okay, we need controlled voltage, and we need controlled frequency system is there. Okay, so if it is type of a system we want, then definitely we need some type of converters which will basically control this type of mechanism, and can do this type of conversion. So the second basic advantage is that to optimize the use of electrical energy with increased efficiency. When this type of system will be there, definitely the efficiency will be increased and conversion from one form of energy to into the another form. All things. If you will see any paper, if you will see any paper, you will find that at the one side there is a one suppose DC is there, so another side AC is there, maybe DC is there. All is basically the conversion of the electrical power. So the current focus is on the power electronic applications. So traction is the one of the most important application in India. If we will talk about the India, so I think that if I'm not wrong, then Indian traction system is basically one of the largest traction system of the Asia. So so basically, so the traction motors which are running on these rails, so definitely they will play a significant role because they are also consuming the electrical power. And that's definitely HVDCs, compensator for power quality improvement. I think you are talking about the power quality, power system optimization and the control. So when you are talking about the power system control, it means definitely you will talk about the FACTS devices also, where you can control the active power and you can control the reactive power. And also because now the convention, now we have shifted from the conventional, means earlier the picture was that okay, if you need this much of reactive power, we have no choice, we only put this simple capacitor and we simply take out if that required reactive power is not there. Simple synchronous condensers are also there, synchronous machines are also there, they can be also regulate for regulating the power factor and other reactive power management. But nowadays things change. Everywhere you can find like TCS, thyristor controlled reactors are there, so you can control the reactance, you can control the voltage also, you can improve the voltage stability also. So these are the very broad area where you can basically work. So especially for the MTech PG student, we can give some small agitation type for compensations, for compensation and improvements. Power supply, because nowadays I think we can see that this is the pandemic condition across the world, and we are not able to go everywhere, means like the previous year we are going and we are giving the lectures and means we are gathering also. Now all things are restricted on, and we are using now the online platforms. So definitely when we are using the online platform, our use of the computers and use of the laptops, use of the mobiles and this type of devices which are basically giving us this type of platform, their use is increased. So when their use is increased, the power supply is increased. When I'm talking about the power supply, definitely AC to DC conversion is increased, definitely SMPS is increased, UPS applications is increased. So means we can see that there are a lot of area where the power electronics works, especially especially in since last 10 years. Basically we have seen a rapid growth in the renewable energy potentials also. Many of the government state agencies and national agencies, international agencies are now focusing on the renewable energy systems. Basically research is also grooming in this direction, especially wind and solar. Other options are also there, but these are the however comparative easy options for getting the electrical supply from our nature basically. So this is one of the area, but again I'm saying, what is the availability? So you will definitely say, okay sir, in case of solar system the availability is DC. Okay, so I have to convert this DC to AC. Definitely they are different type of generators also in case of wind energy system. But again I'm saying, what is the availability and what is the requirement of the load? And also there is a development in the switching technology, there is a development of the your characteristics of those switches that also decreases the cost per installed kilowatt basically. So this is a basically general diagram. We can see here three-phase induction motor. As already I told you, this is when there are two options to give the supply to it to the motor. One, directly you can give the supply to 220 volt or 400 volt or more than that. That depends upon the rating of the motors. One another option, if you want the smooth the acceleration, like in the case of metros. In the case of metro, definitely everybody is seated in the metro, where if you will go in Delhi or in NCR or in Jaipur also now metro is running, and many cities are now having the metros. So I think that you can see in fraction of second that metro is basically getting its full speed, and when the basically next station is arriving, then in the fraction of second it basically deaccelerate also, and speed becomes zero in few or fraction of the second. This is known as the smooth acceleration and smooth deacceleration. Another example you can take of the lift. When we are going from ground floor to any floor, then again a smooth acceleration and a smooth deacceleration, and a wider speed control also we want. It means though earlier we were using the DC machines, definitely though we are using the DC machines, so okay, so the main problem was of the commutation and regular maintenance of the brushes. So that's why that is basically absolute now. And now instead of the DC machines, okay, maybe some factories, maybe some industries are using that because they don't want to stop their production. They don't want to stop their production, so maybe. But now a good better choice is of the induction machine. But now again you can find the more suitability of the DC machines in our domestic appliances also, in the term of BLDC machines. Brushless DC machines are also now coming in the air conditioners, in the refrigerators, even our fans also now coming with the BLDC motors. It depends upon that. So that is not the criteria here. Now I'm not discussing here various characteristics of the machines. Okay, so basically instead of that system, what we are doing here, we are basically having the pantograph, which is having the voltage of like 25 kV on the overhead line. Transformer is there, and what I'm doing, I'm first converting that AC to DC. First step down, and then AC to DC, and then DC to AC. So I think that all we know that the output of the inverter is basically controlled voltage and the control frequency. There are various methods of control of the voltage. One is the external control of the AC voltage, external control of the DC voltage, and the third method is the internal control of the basically the pulses, basically the pulse width, which is also known as the pulse width modulation, which also give you the controlled voltage, as well as you can also minimize the unwanted frequencies, which are known as the basically harmonics in the system. So if these two parameters, voltage and the frequency, are controlled, then automatically the other parameters like the speed, which is the main parameter in any rotating machine, can be controlled. So it means if this will be definitely this will be a very good suggestion for getting the wider range, for controlling the speed and frequency and then speed. Though the system is now become bulky, and now we have to use two converters, but definitely if you need some good converter, then definitely you have to think on this type of issue. So this is the internal diagram. So you can say here you are seeing that 4 induction motors are there. I want to clear here that this is a general representation. It depends upon which type of locomotive is there. Diesel locomotive is there or electric locomotive is there. That number of the motors, number of the HP depends on that. We are not discussing that. Just I'm giving you a brief of that. Okay, where the power electronics basically can be used in a wider manner. Like this is the one of the another application where you can see a microgrid is there, and electric grid is there. There are different sources you can see. Sorry, there are different sources you can see on the screen also. Wind generator, PV modules, micro turbine, fuel cell, and so these are the availability. What I am saying, these are the availability. Okay, Puneet sir, my screen is visible. My voice is clear, no problem. Any audience also can say this thing that my
yes sir, clear. Voice is clear, sir.
Thank you, Vijayji. So okay, so basically again, as I am always talking that in my lectures also, you will find that okay, my availability, what is my availability and what are my loads. So you can see here AC load and the DC load. And see, this basically microgrid, this may be a remote station, this may be a island also, this may be a small community, this may be a hilly area also where we can develop the microgrid type of facility. But definitely we have to talk about these interfaces, which are known as the basically power electronic interfaces. Any student can work on in any area. You can take one wing of this, you can take one wing of this, you can take both wing combinedly, you can also take a multi-generating systems. This is the type of multi-generating systems which are again contributing to the loads via some microgrid. Definitely controllers will be there. You can use DSP, you can use FPGA, you can use DSpace, you can use other controllers also which are available for controlling these generations as well as the connecting to the load. Basically, in this slide, my aim is only to explain you that okay, what are the different aspects of the power electronics. These are the some interfaces which already I think everybody is know: DC to DC converter, AC to DC converter, DC to AC, and AC to AC. And in case of inverters also, it may be two level, it may be multi level. That depends upon that how much smoothness we basically want, how much THD level we want in the output voltage. Depends also on the cost, because when we are increasing the level, when we are basically we should say that accommodating more switches in one space, that will give you the benefit of that you are now the output AC will be having smoothness, having THD as less as compared to the previous one as two level. But definitely the complexity, the control will be a typical task. But nowadays control complexity, the research is going in the direction of to reduce the control complexity basically. And these are the some switches we are there. So these are the certain areas, these are the certain basically converters which can be used as an interface between these two. And these are the areas in short. You can go with DC DC converter, especially SMPS, power supplies, robotics, automation, transportation, power amplifier. Photovoltaic system is one of the major application of DC to DC converters. Then inverters having different UPS, induction heatings, locomotive, watt compensations, and then rectifiers, DC machine drives, and then also your battery chargers in electric vehicle. I think if you have read your today newspaper also, so government is also in our Rajasthan also today 75 electric buses basically started, and approximately 110 electric charger stations are basically now they have installed by Rajasthan State Travel Corporation. So like this everywhere, like this I think in 2 or 3 days ago, I think one news was there in electric vehicle. India, in some Indian company also basically now complete the Tesla car. I think I have seen this news somewhere else in Times of India or somewhere else. But the main thing is that that is one of the major area where the battery chargers role having the place. How that battery will charge in and what will be the time period, that is again a research area. That how you are basically that is again also the materials also, that what materials you are using, what is the basically SOA also of the batteries, which type of batteries you are using. That is again a different area is there. But these overall is the basic criteria applications of. Then you can see a simple building is there, and in that building you can see various loads are there. Some load is 5 kilowatt, 50 kilowatt, 180 kilowatt, 60 kilowatt. You can see here the main supply is there and different buses are there. And also you can see some transformers also there, some linear loads. You can see here 3-phase linear load, 3-phase non-linear load. And you can see basically when see the difference. Here you can see the current waveform, here you can see the current waveform, and here you can see the current waveform. Obviously, if I will ask this question to you that okay, which type of waveform you want to give your induction motor, for example, because induction motor is the most versatile motor in our daily life, also in industry also. Approximately 70 to 80% market is captured by the induction machines, induction motor especially. Then basically you will definitely, your answer will be, sir, this is very smooth, you just give this, because due to there are some problem of the fogging and the crawling, and there will be then the vibrations will be also there, means. And also, sir, if this type of waveform we will give to incandescent lamp, to our fan, to refrigerator, so definitely your answer will be, sir, performance will be good, because this type of waveform, we will discuss this type of waveform which is different from this waveform, having some component which is separate also from this. And you can see also one parameter which is known as total harmonic distortion, in short you can say THD. Here you can see very low THD, here you can see when 155 and 150. It depends. So means which type of waveform, it depends upon that the nature, what is the nature of the load is there. That nature of the load basically will decide this type of current waveform. Now the question is that why everyone is concerning to the power quality. So the answer of this question is because even today you can see, as I already gave this example, that due to pandemic situation, in the COVID situation, everybody is now on the air. On the air means now everybody is using the laptop, mobiles, basically communicating device, and every communicating device having the power supply. Even mobile also you have the DC storage. Even in your laptop also, in your desktop computers also, there is a SMPS is also there. So this basically, when these type of devices, these type of loads are basically increased in the market, in the society, then basically what is this type of load? This type of load means there is some battery, and there is a conversion system which is known as interface. So means when a load is connected with a power electronic interface, this whole is known as the non-linear load. Why it is non-linear load? Because your voltage and the current now not having the wave shape as of the sinusoidal. Sir, why? Because due to the switching action of the switches. Maintaining the power factor is not the poor power quality. No, that is a different thing. When we are talking about the, because two poor waveform having the same zero crossing also, so they can have the power factor. Because in the power quality there are different definition of the power factor. It depends. One only simply says okay, 0% detector, but another, when you will go with the harmonic system, then you will say, then another, your distortion factor is also there, which having the power factor, and the other distortion factor is also there. So means it definition basically differs when you are talking different system. So now basically we are basically using different non-linear loads in our system. So that's why everyone is concerning to the power quality. Also we will discuss in later. So basically, in nutshell, there is no need to read this thing. This is a basic definition of the power quality, that we need a sinusoidal wave shape of the voltage and the current if possible. And if there will be some disturbances for some moment, like microseconds or less than that, that can be omitted. But some extra accident can be omitted. But after that, our voltage profile and the current profile should be strictly follow as of these standards. Frequency should be follow, voltage should be follow strictly as a standard. I will not say current should be follow as per standard, because current will depend upon the load nature. These are the some definition. I am skipping this time. Okay, so these are the certain power quality problems which are occurring in any power systems. So sag and swell problem may occur, voltage interruption problem may occur, under over voltage problem may occur, flickering is there, harmonic distortions is there, and voltage notching problem is there, transient disturbances, outage in the frequency. Out of this, these are the general areas where the people are working around the globe, and also finding the good solution. Here harmonic distortions is also one of the major area. Here one thing I want to say, one can ask that, okay sir, can one simple some device is able to solve this type of problem? My answer is it will be a very typical task, but definitely it can do, but definitely the cost of that system will be very increased. So depending upon the severity of the problem, you have to choose the solutions. This is a general idea. Again, we already discussed that this is the, you can see transmission is coming, and then this is the transformer, and basically we are at the load side. So at the load side, we are having the air conditioners, we are water heaters, and end user power quality, voltage, current, and frequency that do not cause failure or misoperation of the equipment. This should be a particular condition of the power quality also. This is a just simple brief waveform. You can see a simple a sag is there. When some large induction motors or some utility fault is there, then this type of problem may occur, and this will be basically when your voltage is less than at approximately 10 to 90%, then this type of sag. And then soil problem may be also there, means your voltage will be increased, then also this will create the problem. It may occur during the fault or in current tape changing in the tape changers or in the transformer in the substation side. You have the impulsive tangent, only one tangent. This is due to some lightning strike is there, switching of the inductive load. Suppose the large induction motor is switched on, then this type of switching can occur. Switching in the power distribution systems also. This is the oscillatory tangent. Again, this may be due to the power factor capacitor is switching, and then if transformer resonance condition is also there. This is oscillatory, means tangent is there which will be decay out, but this will affect your performance of the system, and your waveform is also now not the sinusoidal. These are the some simulation which basically shows that okay, when the switching of the capacitor will be there, then definitely this type of tangent, oscillatory tangent, you can see in the lower waveform. And also you can see before that your voltage was also smooth, but now after that also your voltage has become also some sluggish type, not the approximately sinusoidal. Okay, this is your again one of the another poor power quality problem, which is the fluctuation. It may be occurs due to the cycloconverter, arc furnace. I think many of you have also feel this type of problem in your house also, this fluctuations. And other system also that drawing the current which is not in synchronization with the line frequency, then this type of fluctuation is occur. And we can also observe in our house that the intensity of the lamps somewhere tube lights also varying. This is the interruption and the noise. Interruption and the noise. You can see this is the example. So this is basically these are the some poor power quality problems which may occur in the power system, and definitely the solution, there should be some good solution for improving this problems. Again, I'm saying strictly anybody can work in any area, but if you will find a solution for every problem by a single solution, then it will be a typical task for definitely everybody. So we have to divide it. Okay, I will work in a voltage sag or soil problem, and then I will design its compensator basically. Then somebody say, okay, I will work in the interruption or fault condition or harmonics or in the fluctuation. So according to that, you can design your solution. So why power quality has, and why everybody is interested in the power quality or concerning about the power quality? So very simple answer is that rapid use of personal computer, which already I discussed, and electronic and magnetic lamp. You can see nowadays our tube light is also completely changed. Your industries, ASDs, variable speed drive, power electronics and solid state converters, programmable logic controller, UPS, SMPS, and deregulation of the market. So basically this makes our power quality basically, that's why, because these problems, these are not the problem. Basically these are the solution to the community. Basically these are solution. Basically we want ASD, we want the variable speed drive, as already we discussed. We need the UPS, we need the SMPS also, because if there will be the laptops will be there, definitely desktop computer will be there, SMPS will be there. Then we cannot deny to use these type of solutions. But because these solutions is now increased, definitely it affect our the power quality. So there are two types of distortions. So basically my presentation starts from the power electronics advantage. Then I discuss some major advantage, major power electronic structure, major converter, major applications. Then also we see that okay, there are certain problems in the power system. Out of that power system, we also see their graphs, their pictures of that problems. And one of the major problem is also is the harmonics. So basically, these are the periodic distortions. These are the periodic distortions in the supply voltage or the current. One can answer basically first it will be polluted, voltage or current. It depends. It depends the nature of the load. Basically, it depends upon the nature of the load. But you can divide this distortions. You can divide this into harmonics into two types: current harmonics and the voltage harmonics. Simply, I can say any waveform which is periodic in nature, having fundamental and other waveform, particularly whose frequency is integer multiple of the fundamental frequency, those are known as the basically the harmonic. Again, it can be classified into different value, even odd. That is again a different criteria. But in general, you can say these are the harmonic which are unwanted in supply. Why you want unwanted? Why you are saying sir it is unwanted? Is it no any advantage of this system? So definitely I will say that after knowing the drawback of this system, you will say okay, we should avoid this harmonics into the flowing into the system, because it will affect the performance of our system. It will deteriorate the power factor. It will burn our conductor. It will give a malfunction of the relays. It will also create problems in the secondary side of the transformers. So first, basically current harmonics, suppose some load is linear, so definitely your voltage and the current will having the same wave shape. But suppose your load is non-linear, then in that case your first current harmonic will be continuated. Continuated means it will consist the fundamental waveform and as well as the harmonic waveform. The source should be fundamental, the source should be sinusoidal, and the fundamental could carry this. But when this type of waveform without any solution, again going back to the supply system, and some linear loads are connected to the supply system, they will also be affected from this type of supply which is now contaminated in nature. And every transmission or distribution line having some impedance. So when that current harmonic which is contaminated, when the current waveform which is contaminated in nature now without any solution, interact with the line impedance, then also create a voltage drop, and also create the problem in the profile in the waveform of the voltage. That is known as the voltage distortion. Which it will affect those loads also, which is basically linear in nature, Hello.
वर्कशॉप के लिए चाबी चाहिए सर अभी
Hello.
लेकर देना है
Puneet ji is clear?
यार इसको साफ करवा दो, बोल दो किसी को आके
Puneet ji,
साफ
I think
कर
some
दे।
disturbance is coming from some participants.
और कोई नहीं है?
Puneet ji, are you there? Okay. So this we can see here, effect of the harmonics on the waveform. So we can see fundamental pure sinusoidal waveform which already we require. Then we can also see the third harmonics, you can consider fifth harmonic, seventh harmonic, even order, odd order. That depends upon the nature of what is the nature of the load. Basically, we are connecting to the system, and you can see a harmonic distorted waveform. And definitely, nobody wants this type of waveform. Nobody wants to give this type of waveform to the load. Basically, as I already discussed, we discussed the example of the induction motors. This is again the same waveform which is again the having the third harmonic and now the fifth harmonic also. And you can see here this black one is the resultant distorted waveform. And these waveform are not generated by the utility, by the generating end. Basically, these are the these are generating due to the loads which we are using, non-linear load which we are using at our domestic place, in our industry also, definitely in our society. So already we discussed that harmonic current produced by the non-linear load injected back in the supply system and distort the waveform and increase the magnitude of the source current, because now your source current not only having the fundamental component, but it also consists the fundamental plus other terms which are the harmonic currents, and that harmonic current basically increase the magnitude of the source current. So basically one wire whose capability is that of 5 ampere, carrying current of 5 ampere, but now due to that harmonic problem, due to the contamination, this 5 ampere plus there will be a significant amount of that harmonic current which will flow through this conductor, and definitely the burning problem will occur in that case. And also this voltage drop problem also we discussed, that this harmonic will also when interact with the system impedance called voltage drop and also affect the voltage. These are the certain problems. So we can see in brief, because also time does not permit me. Then overheating, loss of efficiency, torque, reduction of the life, and then reduced life, overloading. These are the certain problems. Out of them, the basically in the case of cable and the conductors, you can see increased temperature. Basically, that conductor is basically designed. For just I'm taking one example. I'm not saying that every conductor is taking the 5 ampere current. There may be different conductors also, and there will be different current also. So, but what I want to communicate that when that conductor is basically rated for that particular current rating, then if the harmonics will be there, so harmonic current will also flow through that conductor, and then it will basically derate the performance of that conductor. It will increase the temperature, and then definitely some may problem, that a burning may problem and a short circuit problem of that conductors may happen due to the decrement in the your installation. So this type of problem may occur. And in meters also we discuss in readings, and residential equipment, everywhere you can find in interference also is one of the major problem. And so everywhere you can see that this harmonics can have their impact. This is a very basic slide that just to understand maybe you are from different backgrounds, so just to understand that, okay, how the supply current is distorted, how the current will become contaminated. So I am taking a very simple MATLAB example. I am taking 4 switches. Basically, this is an open loop system. I am taking some pulses also, and then there will be 2 current. One is the source current and one other will be the load current. When I'm saying this type of non-linear load is there because RL is there and some switches is there, this completely becomes a non-linear load. I'm not interested in the improving the load profile of the load current. Basically, I'm interested to improve the profile of the source current. I want to see the profile of the source current. So basically, due to the switching action of these switches, the problem may occur. That your voltage profile and your current profile does not become sinusoidal. Let me see in the next slide. Here, if I will say the first slide is of pure sinusoidal, okay, supply voltage, very beautiful waveform. You can say second voltage, that is the output voltage. Again you can say a positive output because it is DC. You can this factor is basically due to the inductance present in the circuit. So that can be omitted by using some diode sections also, freewheeling like this. And then in this, so I am not interested in this. Because I know that output will be DC. It may be a pulsating DC. There are several features also by which solutions also by which you can make smoothness also. You can remove this part. You can also improve this. You can go with multi-pulse configuration system by using the multi-pulse converter. So I'm not interested in that. I am also not interested in the load current because this is the nature. Because inductance is present, so there will be a small rise and a small dip. You can see because inductor will restrict the rate of rise of the current always in positive and the negative direction. So you will get this type of waveform. That's good. Okay, but I am interested in this. If the load was resistive and if there is no any conductor near the switching element, then definitely I will get this type of waveform at the source supply current. But here I am getting this type of waveform due to this because source will copy the load profile. So when this profile will be there from this to this, due to the time constraint, I'm not saying, okay, basically I think you can understand, I'm giving the switching pulse at this moment, and this is the conduction angle here. So the same waveform will be flow, and when in the negative half cycle, so supply current direction will be opposite. So just a mirror image of this portion will be there. So we can see here, this is not the sinusoidal, this is a square type of waveform, but having the periodicity in there, having the positive and the negative half cycle equal. So definitely when I will do the Fourier analysis of this type of system, so I will get the fundamental and other terms, other waveforms. So again, those are the periodic in nature. Those components are basically the harmonics in the nature. So basically this example I took basically just for explaining that, okay, how the your waveform is, supply current waveform is basically contaminated. Okay. So here we can see that I'm again saying that kindly don't consider this magnitude. This magnitude depends upon the load, but we can think, okay, this much of TSD is coming in the picture. So this is the task which we have to think on this. Sorry. Then these are the certain input current of different non-linear loads. You can have the variety of the rectifiers. You can semi-controlled converters. You have the 6-pulse rectifiers, and also you can see on the right hand side, you can see different TSDs starting from 80%, then more than that. Also you can see also the nature of the current. You can see also the typical waveform of the current, and definitely you will not find you will not require this type of waveform for your loads. Especially some sophisticated computers, sophisticated chargers. I think many of you are having having facing the problem of that due to the poor electric charger, your mobile battery is completely drained and damaged also in some few weeks, not in month. Basically this is the problem. This is the problem of that poor electrical charger. That is basically we are using a simple, when I'm saying that, okay, I need a DC, so only a single diode is sufficient. And when we are talking the cost, when we want to need a electric charger from the market, so the cost is a major concern for the Indians also always. So we will say, okay, give me the economic one charger. So when I'm saying economic charger, only one diode is sufficient for rectification, and I will get the DC supply. Who cares about the ripples in the output voltage? Who cares about the power quality at the that single? I'm talking about single phase, one pulse rectifier. Single phase, one pulse rectifier, which only simply having, if it may be control also, then it will be a SCR or any other thyristor or any other switching can be used here. So but this will give you the continuation in the supply voltage. But you can see here very important thing, that if you will increase the number of the pulses, I think many of you if you are from the power system or power electronics, and definitely many of you have gone through the power electronics at their subject. So there you have also see that when the number of pulses increased, then 1 pulse, 2 pulse, 3 pulse, and 6 pulse and 12 pulse converter, then you will find a smoothness in the waveform also, and also there will be reduction in the THD. Then before starting to the going to the solutions, and the development, then first we should do some survey. Then sir, why there is a requirement of the survey? So the answer of this question is basically very simple, that survey will basically tell us about the harmonic pattern. By that survey we can also do the harmonic analysis. Okay, this harmonics are major in the system. Okay, so third order harmonic, fifth order harmonic, seventh order these are the major. Okay, even order harmonics are coming, or the order harmonics are coming, or neutral burning problem is there. Okay, maybe single phase loading problem is there. So by using the power quality survey, by using the analysis of that waveform, current waveform or voltage waveform in industry or the commercial society, we can predict. Because first we should know, first we should analyze it, that okay, this much of contamination of the waveform is there, then only we can predict some good solution, good harmonic mitigation device. You can use any power quality analyzer or any other systems also. These are the waveforms. You can see here, these are the waveforms. It is very simple. You can also do these exercise at your lab also. I think many of you are having good labs, definitely at your respective places. So you can take just a power quality analyzer, or you can use the Tektronix DSO, which is TPS 2014, that also having the inbuilt features of fetching the harmonics. But definitely in that case, you have to use the current clamps. You have to use the current clamp of the with BNC connector. Then only you can because mostly the power quality analyzers are coming with us in the form of CTs at their one end, and at the other end they are coming with the BNC connector directly connected to the DSO. But that DSO should support that current clamp. Then only it can work. So many companies like Tektronix, Flux are giving basically this type of product of basically measuring the harmonics. So a general question may come that, sir, at our college level also we should measuring this harmonic. So the answer is yes, definitely. If some neutral is burning problem is coming, or some fluctuation is coming, definitely you should think on these issues also. Then computer load, you can see here that harmonic is continuous. 70.8% contamination is there, majority of the third harmonic due to the single phase loading. CFL type load, though we are saying it is energy efficient, but CFL type of load also giving you this type of current waveform. You can see here diode rectifier, voltage profile, and the current profile you can see here. These are the adjustable speed drives. You can see here you L1, L2, L3. These are the three phases, and you can see here that these three phases having the different current waveforms, with having the higher order harmonics like fifth and seventh are more. So and because it is a balanced type of system, approximately the third harmonic is less as compared to the previous case. These ABB drives are basically used in the cement industries, like in a cooler fan, clean section. So you can see here ID fan. You can see the waveforms, that this type of waveform. You just say simple, take a LED bulb, you take a CFL lamp, or you can take some induction motor drive, or you can just put some computer SMPS, put some Fluke current probe, I200, I100, I50, I400. Basically, if you will use the I400 probe, then definitely you kindly put the probe on 40 amperes, because if the resolution will be on the 400 amperes, then that DSO will not observe any waveform, because then the resolution will be very poor. So problems which we have to cover is the load compensation phenomena, that how the management of the power, because the people who are joined here from the power system area definitely always talk about that, which okay, we have to control the active power, we have to control the reactive power, or both, and who will supply the reactive power if not supplied by the discoms or the utility. Then kindly wait. Okay. Okay, so who will supply this reactive power, harmonic elimination with maintaining the relative standards? There are basically some standards are also there, like IEEE 519, IEC, which is European standard, and the USA based standard. We have our Indian standards also, and so we have to maintain the standards also in reactive power compensation. What you want? Load balancing, neutral current compensation. What problem you want to cover with this? This is a brief of the standards. European standards. There are the United States standards, and power quality standard. Basically standard means that okay, if my compensator is reducing the THD, so what is the basically level at above or at below, I will say okay, my compensator is working very well. So according to different standard, according to the different voltage level, this basically differs. Like you can say for 69 kV and above, you can say that your THD should be approximately 5%, then your system is okay. In IEC, you can get also for individual load level, you can say that your LEDs also, they have recommended the different THD level for load level basically. whereas IEEE basically gives you the THD level at the voltage and the short circuit in terms of the short circuit current basically. So both having the relative standards also. IEEE also having a series of that starting from the 92, then still it is upgrading its standards. So okay, this I am skipping. Yes, this was yeah, it was basically below that was 3%, and it's individual, and in overall it is 5%, and you can see this is the standard basically. So this was the problem. So the solution which is the we can get is the filters, power filter. Basically, this is not a simple filter. This is the basically power filter basically which we can use here. Again, here before going to the filter, the thing is that how you will decide, how you will select the filter. So there are many parameters on which we have to think that, okay, what is the nature of the load? It is a voltage fed, it is a converter fed, mixed type. What is the supply system? It is single phase supply, three phase, 3-wire supply, 3-phase, 4-wire supply. Which type of compensation you require? You require harmonic compensation, load balancing, neutral current zero, and flickering. What type of sag, swag, which type of phenomena you want to compensate with these filters, and what is the pattern of the load? It is a varying pattern or it is a mixed type of pattern. That also you have to think about that. And then selection of the filters, again the level of the compensation is required, how much compensation, what will be the value of compensation, what is the cost, size, efficiency, reliability, environmental factor, everything we have to think on that issue. So the solution is you can use passive filters, which is the conventional method, easy method. You can use active filter. Now you can use having this type of active filters in market in Bangalore. Also one of the I am not getting the name of that company, but they are using in Bombay in Maharashtra also. Many factory are instructed by the state electricity board. If any means audience is from Maharashtra, so definitely they know that in their bill basically now they are not giving any penalty if your power factor is below 0.9 or 0.8 or whatever the standard. They are what they are doing, they are charging it. So in other terms, instead of the penalty, okay, if you want to use the reactive power, if their power factor will be poor, then okay, you have to pay it. So in terms of instead of penalty, now they are charging the charges for the active power is this, charges for the reactive power is this. So basically, and if you want that, okay, if you want a solution of that, because passive compensation having some different disadvantage approaches also with it, active filter having good advantages, and we will discuss it also in brief, and but the cost is more. So if you can have a flexibility that you can get some advantage of the passive filter, you can compensate the lower order harmonics by the passive, and you can do with the high order harmonics for the active filtering, because the designer of the high order harmonic filter is an easier task, and the cost will be optimized. So you can do a optimization like this, then that will be a hybrid filter also. Passive filter having the harmonic reduction, reliable operation, easy design procedure, and reactive power compensation. And in our Indian power sector, still we can find the passive compensation, because many of you are from the industries also, and teaching field also. So you know that still the conventional capacitor banks we are using at our substations. So these are the LNC single parallel, and we can do single tune, double tune. Basically passive compensation is giving you the path by which the current by which the unwanted section of the current basically neglecting. So our trapping, you can say it is a trap filter, you can say these are the trap filter. Basically you can see on this screen 5th order harmonic, 7th order, 11th, we are giving the we are trapping them, but the basic disadvantage you can see here. Okay, basic disadvantage you can see here that there are number of the passive approach is increased if your number of the compensation is increased. So that is also a challenging task for that. Then this is the major drawback, and definitely if your one filter is tuned for a particular frequency, then another frequency cannot be tapped by that filter. This is again the major drawback with this. And resonance is also a major drawback with this. So due to these drawbacks, basically passive approach is a little bit now is means not usable, but still in the market it is running, in industry it is running. Though though many, like in Jaipur, many hotels like ITC is a hotel is there. Then they are using the harmonic filters. They are using the in mega malls also. They are using the APFCs for maintaining the power factor also. But the mechanism is maybe with the passive compensation or the active compensation. This choice depends upon the government and as well as industry also, because definitely this will having the costly issues. Okay, so what happened? My slide is not moving. Okay, now okay. So so passive compensation, these are the passive compensation. You can have this type of possibility, you can have this type of possibility. And the drawbacks, already we have discussed the drawbacks for this: heavy, bulky, large number of component tuned for a certain loading condition, limited choice in selecting tune frequency. Active power filter, it cancel out the harmonic, use active switching components, only one filter is needed. Natural current compensation is also a major task. Reactive power management is also the major task, and quick response. And definitely, my dear colleagues, and if definitely, then if this all advantage we want from a single device, then definitely we have to pay for this. This is the basic principle. If we will see here, this is a nonlinear load, and this current IL, this current IL having two components. One is the IF and IL H. ILH stand for load harmonic component. So basically, this ILF should be equal to the fundamental current is equal to IF, and this ILH, this should be basically give away by this active filter. So we can see here, this is the nature of the load current. We can see here, this is the current which we require, fundamental, and this is the unwanted component. So what we are doing, basically we are giving a path to this unwanted current, load current with harmonics. This is the compensating current. So in other, we can say that at the point of common coupling at the PCC, active filter will inject the compensating current, which having the same magnitude as of the ILH, but in 180-degree phase opposition, so that they can be cancelled out at the PCC. Or you can say, because they that will remain in the system, but we can say it will be cancelled out. Basically, we are giving a path to that system, to that current. This is a general idea. It may be a single phase, it may be a three phase, it may be with a multi-level inverter also. And you can see here, this is the basically your voltage source inverter. You can use the different switches technique, VSI technique and the CSI technique. Both are popular, but normally due to the design of the inductor, the CSI technique is slight less as compared to the VSI. Only the capacitor and easily designed capacitor is available in the market, but for the inductor you have to design it. And this is the load, this is the source impedance, and definitely this impedance are basically just to reduce the spike level. If you will not use this, no problem, but then spikes will be more, then you can use this impedance according to your practical approach or according to the system requirement. You can again having the variety of the active power filter. You can have shunt APF, series APF, hybrid APF, okay, and current source inverter, then voltage source. You can again going with the hybrid shunt APF, series APF, combination of them. You can also connect the shunt PF, passive filter approach, in the hybrid case. So this is the control strategy. Basically, this is the control strategy same. This is the control strategy same for every researcher, that there will be a power circuit. You can see here. You can see this is a power circuit, load circuit is there, and definitely this will be a load circuitry, and you have some actual current feedback system. I will show you that the current feedback system also. You have to use some reference current generator technique. Anybody can use. There are different technique in PQ where is there, frequency domain is there, time domain is there. Different algorithms under these two domains are there. They are having their advantage and disadvantage here. You can see different literature which having a comparative analysis of different waveform. You can develop also your current waveform. Basically, the task is you have to generate the switching pulse pattern of the switches. This may be 4, this may be 6, this may be n number of switches, depending upon which type of VSI you are taking. Then PWM control strategy, again, that your power circuit means your inverter has to be fired for this. Okay, so these are the basic topologies for active filters. You can use series. You can use series active filter for compensating the problems related to the voltage. You can use the parallel shunt for eliminating the current type of problems. And these are the you can say 3-phase 4-wire, and because fourth wire is for the neutral, and this is for 3-phase 4-wire again. But here instead of in this you can see two capacitors are there. Here you can see only one capacitor, but there will be one more leg is associated with this. So different topologies are there. You can give a small project to your MTech MTech student also, a comparative analysis of these two topologies and identification of this type of active power filter, maybe at least to generate the waveform, at least for the fabrication purpose. These are the some combinations. And one more thing very important, that all for every combination is possible, that depends upon the cost. If you want to decide to reduce the cost, definitely you have to go with the hybrid compensation approach. You can use any PWM technology, you can use any control technology, but definitely if you want to use any control technology, you have to require the processors. You may require the DSP, you may require the FPGA, you require a DSpace, you require Raspberry Pi board, you require Arduino board, any boards, any microcontroller, any controller you require. So okay, so yeah, in the control strategy, this is the main thing. Voltage and current should be sensed. If first, this is the main thing that you have to sense. Then compensating commands in terms of current or voltage level are to be decided based on, sorry. Okay, so compensating commands in terms of current or voltage level are to be decided based on the control method. Then the gating signal for achieving the the active filter basically are generated. You can use hysteresis, you can use adaptive based control technique, you can use any other techniques also. Basically, also we have to see the time limit. So I'm skipping this. Okay, we have taken a case study of the active power filter. So any algorithm you can take. This is a general idea. You can take any algorithm. This is a I'm saying this is a general. You can use PQ algorithm, you can use DQ algorithm, you have different time domain and frequent domain algorithm, but my task is only to generate the switching signal of these switches. You can sense source current, you can sense load current, you can sense current, how you can reduce the number of sensors. Again, this is the area of research. This will be a system description. Basically, you can see here, this is the source part, this is the load part, and this is the sense parameter, and these are the basically control algorithm which will go on the DSP or FPGA, what basically area you are working. These are the IGBT drivers. I will show the diagrams also. So okay, directly we can come. These are the waveforms. Yeah, this is the basically implementation. You can use the DSP, you can use the FPGA. That depends upon your control scheme, that on which basically board, on which basically support which you want to for real-time programming. So according to that, you can use DSP or the FPGA. You have the 28335, you have 2812 in our NIT Jaipur. Also in our laboratory, we have very good laboratories here. Electric vehicles laboratory, we have the very good Raman lab also, where these DSP boards are working. In my lab also you can find students on working on this. We have very variety of the labs where the students are working on these processors also. So these are the feature. Okay, I'm not considering now this. Just this is the okay. You have the you have this and waveform. So you can see here this waveform having the contamination in the voltage, supply voltage, and then you can see that after the compensation, your current is becoming smooth. So okay, this is the load variations also. Your control algorithm should be basically like that it should also control the load variations also and smooth the DC link as fast as possible. This is again the active power filter waveform. You can see this is the load source current. Here after the compensation, you can see the source current trying to become smooth, and these are the all. Okay, so let's come to the another one presentation is also there in the pipeline. This is the designing of the hardware. Okay, my slide is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is visible.
Okay. So basically, just this presentation is about the just a development process in the laboratory, that how we can suppose if I want to develop a fabricate active power filter in my laboratory, then what is be the starting phase, and then how I can proceed. So if this presentation is regarding to that, means the solution part, but the solution in hardware in realistic form. Basically, we are working on this in our lab. You can see 2-level, 5-level active power filters are currently working, even with the grid integrations also. So these are the features: voltage source inverter, current signal sensing circuit, amplification circuit. These are deadband and pulse amplification isolation circuit, and then complete laboratory developed model and some result already we have discussed. So I think that this presentation is not for discussing the advantage and the disadvantage, but again, because learned faculty members are here, and definitely all faculty members and maybe students are also there. So maybe choose any algorithm based on its merit and demerit. You can use SRF based theory, you can use PQ theory. There are again very improvement and modified versions of the PQ algorithm, and you can develop your own control algorithm also. You can have the PLL, improved PLL. Very different variety of the algorithms are there for basically for generating the reference signal, because we have to generate the reference signal. This is the main prime requirement. So key feature component of the active harmonic filter: there will be a inverter, there will be signal sensing circuit, there will be amplification circuit, there will be pulse generation circuit, complementary, because like we are talking about a 6-switch inverter. So there will be your upper leg and the lower leg, so both will be complementary, but definitely we will give a delay also in both of the switch pulses. So definitely we have to also use blanking or the deadband circuitry and isolation and the amplification part. So this is the general circuit already we discussed. You can see here, this is the load, this is the inverter, this is the your DSP or DSP section or controller, and this is the PWM section. Yeah, this is the in detail. So you can see here basically IGBT we are using here, and you can see the protection also. It's never circuit protection, RNC or the dB by dt basically. So you can see here this protection. Now you can see the sensor circuitry also. So this is the I think LV25 here. LV25 amps voltage sensor is there. So this this is of the company of the lamp. So you can see. Okay, because I'm not able to see it. Okay, now it's okay. Okay, so here you can see this is the power supply section. This is the power supply section for this your sensors, and we will give the input also. This having the input, and this we will give the output also. So here this is the internal diagram also. So you can use a LEM sensors for the sensing. You can have this 15 volt plus minus is for the internal supply, but for the these are the system HT and minus plus, these are the system which we have to sense, and then signal amplification circuit. What is the need of signal amplification circuit? Because the output is in millivolt or milliampere, because the output is in of millivolt or milliampere, and that output cannot be judged, cannot be sensed by the microcontroller or the microprocessor or the DSP or the DSO. So you have to amplify it. That's why a signal amplification circuit is required. This is the okay. There are some calculation also. I'm not going in that direction, because basically we have to use one resistance where we can measure this voltage. So this ROut. So this I will calculate based on the data sheet of this, that okay, this much of output voltage if I want, then this much of resistance I have to connect at the output terminal. This is the current sensing, current measurement, LA55 NP, and this is the standard name. And again, the supply is there. Again, the resistance, output of the current measurement circuit is also the voltage. And again, I have to amplify it. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 current sensors you can see. And again, the R out calculation is there, so you can develop the basically, because see, you can see here why the amplification necessary, because this LM55, the ratio is 1 of 1 ratio 1 column 1000. So means if 1 ampere current will be there, so it will be 0.1 milliampere current will be there in the output side. So definitely its ratio will be very less. So that's why we have to amplify it. Then this is the amplification circuit. A buffer will be there, scaling will be there, and then buffer will be there. So you can give the pulse input at this side, and depending upon the VCC what you are connecting, you can amplify the pulse. You can use the potentiometer also. You can see here variable pot. So by that you can basically amplify it. The amplification voltage output amplification voltage depend on the microcontroller input or DSP input. What is the input of that? That depends on that. You can see here this is the amplified output voltage. So earlier it was like 100 volt, but this was sensed by the filter by the current voltage sensor, and then amplified, and it has become 2.07. So you can see also this is for a voltage and this is for the current. This is the blanking circuit and the deadband circuitry, because if both pulses will be, maybe if you know that overlapping period is there. So if may be possible that if your upper leg SCR is not off completely and your lower leg SCR is turned on, then it may possible that it may be a dead short circuit. So in order to avoid that situation, we normally use the deadband circuitry. So simply it is a 7404 and 7408 ICs are there available easily. These are the gate circuitry. So you can easily design this deadband circuitry. Basically the R and C, these are the two capacitors. So by this resistance and the capacitance, by this you can give a deadband between these two pulses. So these are the input 1 and input 2, and these are the input 1. Sorry, these are the input 1 and input 2. So you can get the delayed pulses from this. So you can see here in this slide, you can see deadband. You can see a deadband here, which is of the order of 3.2 microsecond, because your pulse width is also of the order of microsecond or nanosecond. This is the amplification pulse. You can use in the isolation circuit. You can use any TLP250. You can use any other optocoupler ICs for giving the opto isolation, so that your gate circuitry can be separated from the your anode to cathode circuitry. So here you can see TLP. Then you can see its supply section at pin number 8. If you will, whatever the supply you will give, you will get at the output terminal. It depends upon what is the VGE is there. So the VGE, corresponding VGE, or in case of MOSFET, what is the voltage at the gate terminal? In IGBT also, what is the voltage required? So that is basically mentioned in the data sheet of the respective switching device. So this was the amplified pulse. You can see 2.83 earlier pulse, and you can see now here plus 15 and the minus. Minus is there basically for a reliable turn off. So this is the output of pulse amplification and the isolation circuit. So here you can see a laboratory developed deadband pulse isolation amplification and isolation circuit. This is the deadband circuit. This is NOT gate. These are the power supply sections, and this is the amplification circuit. You can also customize this. Basically, just in order to avoid any grounding problem, we are making this. You can also having a same power supply for this, but definitely their ground in that case ground problem may occur. So only to avoid that, this is basically be prepared. You can also develop your single input multiple output supply also. This is the laboratory prototype. Though it is just screen is not visible, but you can see here this is the D space. So yeah, D space can be changed by DSP, FPGA. This is the DSO transformer. These are the load bank R and L. This is the inverter section, and this is the inverter section. This is the circuit which I basically shown you, and okay, and okay, these are the sensing circuit. You can see here the sensors are there. So okay, Hello. Okay, my voice is coming. Okay, so this is the compensation.
Yes,
this is
sir.
the VSR. Okay, so this is the voltage, this is the current, source current, and this is the load current after the compensation. And I think okay, this we one of my student did this work in for his PhD. So these are that related waveforms. You can see here if neutral current is also be compensated if the load is basically three-phase four-wire system is there. These are the simulation and this may be changed. This kindly don't copy this because this may be changed. This may be changed. This will be depends upon the availability and the requirement of your test bench. This will be depend. So by this I'm closing this section and I'm closing this session, and if you have any query, you can ask me. And though because time was little less, but I tried my best to give you a brief of this presentation, brief of the power quality problems, brief of the solutions, and one design problem of active filter that if you want to fabricate it, then what are the main components you require in the laboratory. And definitely I will share the slide to the organizer. And thank you for patiently listening.
Thank you very much, sir. So if any participant wants to ask something, he or she may ask.
One thing
Otherwise,
also I want to share. One thing also I want to share that MNIT Jaipur right now we have the PhD portal is open, and this time full time scholarship is also given. And electrical department of MNIT Jaipur is a rich department. Means we have variety good professors, number of good professors. Even one of the great conference in the area of power electronics and power system, basically power electronics, that PADAS. I think many of you have also put the papers. I don't know. That is also starting from tomorrow. The organizers are Professor Rajesh Kumar. I think he will also he is also taking one of the session. So very good learned professors and associate and assistant team is there. So and this time the thing is that it is a full time with scholarship. And scholarship, I think if I'm not wrong, it is 35,000 around. If I'm not wrong, 30,000 plus 5,000 for HRA, so 35,000. And 35,000 is not a small amount for the researchers, for the the students who are just completed their MTech. So the faculty member who are present there, I request them kindly pursue this advertisement, because I think the last date is 18 or 19th. So, but you have not submit any form by speed post. You have to only submit all the documents online. So it will hardly take 1 hour to fill that form. So this is a good opportunity for those students who want to pursue their PhD from NIT, especially with scholarship.
so sir, is it full time or it is part time also?
It is full time. That's why I'm saying it is full time. And if anybody is in a sponsor category also, and in part time also, but for part time the requirement is of 70 kilometers, and for sponsor I think there is no requirement of 70 kilometers, but your organization or there will be a nearest organization where the research facility is there. So you can also do in that. There are 3 boards. So with scholarship, without scholarship, sponsored, and part time. And scholarship is also a handsome amount.
Yeah, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
I think in our department, if I'm not wrong, I think because since last 2 years there is no opening, so I think 22 or 25 vacancies are there. So I think it is a good number.
You'll be also taking some students, sir, or other faculty?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Fine, sir. Then I think we can wind up the session. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Puneet, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Head of the department, and thanks
Sir,
for
I want to
this
know one thing.
opportunity.
Hardware implementation, which controller we should prefer, whether it should be a D-Space or any other controller?
Okay, very good. So basically, it depends upon the cost. From my first slide, I am saying cost is a major criteria. one of my student, because I have one project, so in that I purchased one D space. So, but that cost is around 15 lakhs. Okay, but I worked in my PhD. I work on the DSP, which is approximately I think of 50,000 at that time in 2008 or 9. Then one of my student who have completed his PhD in this week and the last week, basically he awarded his PhD, Ajay Kumar. So he worked on the ARM Cortex microprocessor, which is hardly of 15,000 to 30,000. So it depends. It depends upon your cost and the support also. Basically, if you have to, if you will work on GSpace of 15 lakhs, definitely you get more flexibility. You will have GPIOs, various. You will have DACs also. In DSP, these features you will not get. In ARM you will get, but there the problem is of the coding. But there are again nowadays microcontrollers are coming with automatic code generation. Sometime if time permit, then there is again one session may require for the automatic code generation is also a technology. Just you type on the MATLAB Central automatic code generation or in the Google or YouTube, you will find different webinars on automatic code generation or related or microcontroller.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, then Puneet ji, can I leave?
Yes, sir. Sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir,
Okay.
for your
Thanks a lot.
lecture.
Thanks a
Okay.
lot.
Take care, sir. Bye. Take care, sir.
This conference will now